What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another video, and this will be my Browns Texans Week 10 preview as my Browns are back from the bye week, all rested up and ready to go as they welcome the 2-6 Houston Texans to the Dog Pound to start what will be a very important second half of the season for the Cleveland Browns as we look to make the playoffs for the first time since 2002. Now, right off the bat, you look at the Texans' record, they're 2-6, but then you look and see who they lost to. 5 of those 6 losses were to playoff/Super Bowl contenders. I mean, week 1, they lost to the Chiefs, 34-20. Week 2, they lost to the Ravens, 33-16. Week 3, they lost to the Steelers, 28-21. A couple weeks later, they lost to the Titans, 42-36 in overtime. Then they lost to the Packers, 35-20. Then, of course, they lost to the Vikings, but the Vikings freaking suck. And then they beat the Jaguars twice. So, yeah, there's that. We got to play them in a couple weeks, too. That should be very interesting. But like I'm saying, man, the Texans are a very good team. They've just had a brutal start to their schedule. And then you look at the rest of their schedule after they're done with us. They got the Patriots, the Lions, the Colts, the Bears, the Colts again, the Bengals, and the Titans. So it ain't no walk in the park, but I could see a couple more wins for Houston. Then you look at their roster, and I see a very talented team. Of course, Deshaun Watson. They got Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, who they brought in to fill the void left by the D-Hop trade. Still can't believe they traded D-Hop. You have Will Fuller. You have Kenny Stills. You have a decent offensive line, mainly Laramie Tunsil. The rest are kind of meh. You have my guy Darren Fells at tight end. You have Farrell Brown, another former Brown, at tight end too. David Johnson at running back, the guy who you also got for D-Hop. You have Duke Johnson, another former Brown, at running back. Your defense is pretty decent, I guess. You have Zach Cunningham, J.J. Watt still ticking out there on the defensive line. You got some good pieces. It's just the fact that you had Bill O'Brien as your coach for a little while there, and he hurt you bad. Not only as a coach, but as a GM. I mean, what the hell was that dude thinking half the time, bro? Like, damn, for real. Oh, my God. He's a freaking idiot. For real, man. But, yeah, this is going to be a very tough game. And fun fact, we have not beaten the Colts. Not the Colts. Well, we haven't beaten the Colts since, the 80s. But we haven't beaten the Texans since 2007. We've lost 5 straight to these guys. So this would be a great time to snap another streak, eh? We played them in 2018. We lost by 16 points. So that's the only time Baker Mayfield has faced these guys. And speaking of Baker Mayfield, of course, you probably heard that he went on the COVID list. No, he did not test positive, but I believe he was a close contact to a staff member who did test positive. So hopefully he'll be ready to go for tomorrow's practice. But got some other good news. Nick Chubb will be back. That's great. Wyatt Teller should be back. Myles Garrett, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry should all be back as well. Although they didn't miss any time. They were just banged up. That's always good to see them practicing. And maybe we see Jacob Phillips too. But mainly Nick Chubb and Wyatt Teller are back. And that is huge for us. Because as we saw, without Teller, we didn't really do a whole lot in the run game. And without Chubb, again, our run game was kind of sus because Kareem Hunt is not a number 1 back in this offense. I mean, overall, he's elite. But with us, he's a very, very good number 2 back. He's the kind of guy that would come in after Chubb has beaten the opponent in the face a couple times, and he would finish him off. He would, he'd pretty much, stick the fork in him. He'd gash them after freaking Chubb has bashed him a couple times. That's what I love about having Chubb and Hunt in the backfield. They're very, very good. And we saw this offense with those two, man. It was very, very good. And the offense kind of dropped off a little bit, mainly because we relied on Baker Mayfield's arm a lot more with Chubb out. But now with Chubb coming back, I'm not sure, how effective he'll be to start off. I believe he does have a knee brace on. We'll see how he does with that. But he should be all right. we'll get to see him back on the field. It'll probably take him a little bit to really get going again, back up to full speed, but he should be good to go, hopefully. But yeah, it's good to see these guys getting back healthy, Man, I'm going to keep saying it, but this bye week came at the perfect time for the Cleveland Browns, you know. And this game starts a very important stretch for the Cleveland Browns because after this game, we got the Eagles at home. Then we travel to Jacksonville right after Thanksgiving. Then we travel to Tennessee. Then we got Baltimore at home on Monday Night Football. And then we spend 2 weeks in Jersey facing the Giants right before Christmas. And then we have the Jets right after Christmas. So essentially, we could be spending Christmas in Jersey. And then we end the season against the Steelers, and we'll see what happens with them. They're undefeated right now. Could they be resting their starters? I don't know. I mean, that means we would have to be playing Mason Rudolph again, and we all remember what happened the last time we played Mason Rudolph. I know Myles Garrett does. I'm sure he regrets everything that happened in that game. But, yeah, this is a very important stretch. And also, of course, we got to deal with the Raiders, the Colts, and the Dolphins keeping up with us as well. So we need to get some wins going here, and, we need to freaking lock up a playoff spot because this team could do some serious damage in the playoffs, depending on who we play. If we play the Chiefs, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we could keep up with them, but our defense is a little sus. And that's what really worries me about this game, too, because I feel like if Myles Garrett isn't doing it all, Deshaun Watson could dice us up. I'm scared to see what the heck Sendejo's going to do. I mean, oh, my God, I could just see it now. Will Fuller just flies right past him for an easy touchdown. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? For all we know, Duke Johnson's going to go off against us. That's usually what happens. Our former players always go off against us, But this should be a really good game. Shout out to all the Texans fans out there. Of course, Steven Rose, loyal to Houston. Hector Flores, who's now with Soft Sports. All the other guys out there repping the Texans. You guys got a really good squad. But getting to the 3 keys to victory. Key number 1, again, let's get that running game going. Chubb should be back, so we get to see the 1-2 punch of Hunt and Chubb again. I'm sure Hunt's going to kind of being that guy to go in there after Chubb has just worn out that defense. He goes out there. We're going to probably be using him in the screen game a lot more. That's one thing I've also noticed. We haven't really done a lot of screen passes lately. I expect a return of that. And one more person's back too. I almost forgot. Austin freaking Hooper. He had an appendectomy, but he's coming back this week too. So that's another big thing too, But we're freaking excited, Get the run game going, get Chubb and Hunt rolling early on, and we essentially just go back to what we were doing when we won 4 straight games. Rely heavily on the run game, and Baker Mayfield just doesn't turn the ball over. That's pretty much it right there. Key number 2, forced turnovers. I mean, we saw, again, during those 4 wins that we had early in the year, we were forcing turnovers. And when we force turnovers, oftentimes we score off those turnovers. And we didn't do that against the Raiders. And they pretty much just kept our offense off the field. And when our offense was on the field, they didn't do anything. Guys were dropping passes, and they just looked all out of whack. It looked like they needed the bye week. Now it's going to be interesting to see how we play coming out of the bye week. Are we a little rusty, or are we ready to go? It'll be interesting. Now, key number 3 is always don't be stupid. No stupid penalties, and take care of the ball. That's pretty much it for that one. Player to watch this week, it's going to be Nick Chubb. I want to see how he does coming off of the IR. How's that knee holding up? Is he running as fast as he was before the injury? I don't know, because that knee brace might, hinder him a little bit. But then again, who knows? He really wasn't always a fast back, but he was a very, very powerful runner. It'll be really interesting to see him back on the field, see what he does. I could see him having a decent game, though. But as for my score prediction, I think the Browns get the dub here. I think we do just enough to win. I got us winning by a final score of 28 to, I'm going to say 28-17. Yeah, I think we win 28-17. I think we seal it with a late touchdown, and we move to 6-3, and we got the Eagles coming up next week at home. So, and by the way, I was supposed to go to that game, but COVID happened, so I don't think I'm going to that game anymore. It sucks. Oh well. But yeah, again, shout out to all the Texans fans, Hector, Soft Sports, Loyal to Houston, Stephen Rose, of course, any other Texans fans out there that I may have not mentioned. You know, there's quite a few of them out there, especially on YouTube. I might have forgot your name. Oh well. I mean, I got the main people though. But yeah, shout out to everybody. I'm Crazy Dog 99. Let's go Browns. We're freaking back. Let's get the second half started, man. Let's start off strong. Let's go freaking on a nice little run here to try to make the playoffs. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Browns. And I'm out.